Hey there, everyone. I had such a breakthrough thought process last night as I was bringing in the new year in regards to the fact that God cannot bless the person you pretend to be. And that hit home for me so heavy as I was with friends, new friends and old friends, talking about what we wanted to experience in 2018. What would it mean for us to have a breakthrough 2018? And I wanted to chat with all of you about that. I hope you guys are just one happy new year. I don't know. I've been super weird about the whole new year, about how I was going to feel or what I wanted to do last night. I ended up, staying in, having a couple people over in my house, playing board games and having fun. But then we started doing some really introspective questions about, the past year, where we've been and where we're going. And I think one of the biggest lessons I learned this year was God cannot bless the person you pretend to be. And that's a hard truth to, I think, swallow, a hard pill to swallow, because I think sometimes we are so focused in this world trying to be who we think we're supposed to be. We're trying to show up in the world and be what our parents told us to be what society tells us we're supposed to be, like living up to the judgments of what people are saying on social media or what we're seeing on Facebook, what we see somebody else doing in the life that they're living, and we think that we're supposed to have that, or that we're not enough, or we're not qualified because we don't have X, Y, or Z. And through some of the reflective work that I've been doing and just through the conversations I had last night, we really boiled down to the fact that God cannot bless the person you pretend to be. And if we do not start showing up in our authentic truth, if we do not start being honest about where we're successful, where we're succeeding, but also where are we failing, and where do we need help, and where do we need community, and where do we need support, we will never truly experience the abundance or the magnitude of the blessings that he has for us. Because if we're showing up in the world as somebody who we're not actually meant to be, as somebody that we just are not, period, how can we ever receive the true blessings that God has for us when we are not showing up and being authentic and honest with who we are, period, as is? There's no way we're going to experience abundance. Do you guys understand what I'm saying here? Let me know if anybody else is, rolling with me, waving with me on where I'm going right now. But that was probably one of the biggest things. And a lot has been changing for me as I sit here and reflect. Let me see, pop in the comments. Hey, Ashlyn, Happy New Year. Hi, Anita, Happy New Year. Hey, Liz. Hey, Jordan. Hi, Lori. Hey, everybody. I was just sitting here kind of going through, looking at the goals that I set last year for myself. And it's just the person that I thought I was a year ago could not have fathomed what I experienced over the course of this past year. January a year ago, I was working full-time in corporate America as an engineer. I was on a really, really large-scale project, managing about a $450 million, or the lead engineer on a $450 million pipeline project. I was just getting momentum in the business that I have today, making $1,000 a month, $2,000 a month, doing Facebook Lives, barely anybody was showing up, barely being able to send out emails because I just couldn't get down email marketing, not writing blog posts because I don't know how to write blog posts. I suck at writing blog posts. I was just can I just break even in my business? And then I go into 2017 setting some radical goals, putting on my vision board that I wanted to hit the 6-figure mark. I wanted to get a dog. I wanted to move into a high-rise apartment with floor-to-ceiling windows. I wanted to wake up without having an alarm clock. I had set all these goals, and when I put it down on paper, I was there's no fucking way. I have no idea how this is ever going to be possible, because the current job that I have, one, does not allow me to experience some of the goals that I'm even putting down on paper. I had no idea how I was going to do it. But then I started moving forward in faith and moving forward with intention. And it's amazing when you get the right support in your community and just don't stop moving, how everything will start aligning and you'll start to catch your stride and you'll start to move and you're flowing in your frequency. And then everything starts clicking. So when I was setting all these goals last year, I barely was able to make $1,000 a month consistently. without me feeling like completely burnt out and overwhelmed. So for me to put down on paper that I wanted to make 6 figures by the end of the year, that I'm like, okay, that means I can't keep making $1,000 a month. I got to start making at least like $8,000 to $10,000 a month in order for me to ever even hit that goal. And like even getting there, I was like, I don't even see how. And I really started sitting, I think at the time I didn't realize how often we, especially being new in business, how I wasn't comfortable being in my own skin. Like I thought I had to do things how everybody else was doing it in the online world. Like I thought I had to build an online business like everybody else was doing it. I thought I had to speak the same way everybody else was speaking. I thought I had, to sell the same way everybody else was selling. Like I only could, I didn't have like the sense of confidence and certainty that I have now when I put out new products and new offerings. Cause I'm like, if it's never been done before, I didn't have the confidence in myself to be able to go hit publish and do it. I was constantly looking for validation from other business coaches and other experts in the industry to tell me, to give me kind of permission to say that, yes, you can go do that. And that's really where I was a year ago. Like, I just was like, I need to see that somebody else has done it, and I need to do it the same way somebody else is doing it, or else it won't work for me. And I was pretending. I was constantly trying to be somebody else, speaking somebody else's way, not being authentic to who Jerisha Hawk is and all like the wild and craziness that I am. And like I didn't have a voice back then. Like I was still trying to figure out what my voice was. And the more I started investing in myself, I bought 2 courses that had like a community component. I hired 2 business coaches that really stretched me. So one was a one-on-one coach and one was more of like a group coaching program that was like over the course of 4 months. And that was probably, close to $15,000 worth of investment over a course of like a 6-month time period. But if it weren't for me making those investments and getting outside of myself, I never would have truly found my voice. I never would have like been able to see what sometimes we pretend and think that we have to have it all together. But as we're moving through life, so often we have blinders on. Just because we can't see what we can't see. Like when we are in a room, you see everybody else, you can't see yourself. And this is why it's so important to have other people in your community, having a coach, being in a mastermind, being in a coaching program, because when you're in a room, they can see you. And sometimes, not even sometimes, more often than not, and I think I'll attribute this to my own success, is I had people in my corner who saw the greatness in me that I could not see in myself. And they were able to communicate that and help me see a vision that I didn't even have the sight for. And them just seeing the greatness in me that I couldn't see in myself and communicating that to me was just enough for me to actually be like, okay, I didn't even know that I could do that. That's possible for me? Oh, it is? Okay, how do I now create a strategy and develop a plan and then get in action to go make it happen? And I would say this year has really been about self-discovery and about just accepting who you are in who you are right now. Like knowing that where you're at with what you have, you are enough. You are enough in this moment with exactly what you have, and even with the things that you don't have, with the ideas that you have formulating and brewing in your mind right now, you are enough, and you have enough to go do whatever it is, like to go hit play, to go start today. You have enough. And I just attribute so much to the breakthrough experience that I had in 2017, to the people that I had in my life, to the community that I had, to the Jordan Gill who is on this call right now. I'm not sure if you're still watching live. Like having the right people in my corner to invest in me, to speak abundance on me, to be there when I didn't believe in myself, to see the greatness in me that I didn't know to be true. The Courtney Sanders, the Laura Wrights, the Aaron Lindstroms, the Jamie Jensens, the Kelly Rudas, the Jordan Gills, like the John Broshaks, my pastor Tim, like all the amazing people I'm meeting in my church and in my community. Like I wouldn't have what I have. And I sit here on my board, like it really brings me to tears. I did not know I was going to get emotional. Looking at how much transformation happened in such a short period of time. Like I started this business in October of, oh my gosh, I'm getting so emotional. of 2016, I launched this business. I, in the course of 6 months, decided I was going to quit my corporate job. And the only reason why I had the strength to do that is because I had Jordan Gill in my corner, I had Laura Wright in my corner, and I was in a coaching program. And I remember being on an hour and a half commute home from work, and I was on my coaching call, driving, and my coach at the time asked a question about what my quit day was going to be. And I'm like, I don't know what day I'm going to quit my job. I need to hit these financial goals before I can quit my job. That's the only way I can conceptualize it. Like, I need to see myself make 5 figures a month, 3 months in a row, or else I won't quit. She said, well, okay, you realize that when you are working full time, it's going to be more difficult for you to hit some of your financial goals because 40 hours of your week, like a large percentage of your energy is being devoted to something else. So just pick a date. And I'm like, it'd be kind of dope to say that Hawk Independence Day was July 3rd. So I'm going to just pick July 3rd as my date. And that scared the shit out of me. But like, if it weren't for having a coach who could see the greatness in me that I could not see it myself at the time, and then for me to be able to get off of that phone call of that coaching program and to pick up the phone and call it Jordan and be like, girl, WTF. Why the hell did she just make me pick a date? I'm losing my mind. I'm about to I don't even have words. But it was because I had, the only reason why I was able to even make that decision to pivot and adjust the life that I have to what I have now is because I had a coach who believed in me, who saw in me what I could not see in myself. I had a community in that coaching program to support me through the transition. And I had people in my corner, like a Jordan Gill, for example, like a Tiara, for example, to deal with what the fuck? I don't know how to even process my emotions right now. And I had this constant sense of community to go through this extremely challenging internal mindset moment of transitioning. And, then being able to strengthen my faith and finally finding community in church. And those two paired together was the thing that allowed me to move forward. But it's amazing to think that 6 months ago when I quit my job, I created this board that has all the posted color pictures on the back wall here. And I started setting out my income goals for the entire year. So at the time that July hit, basically in order for me to hit 5 figures, I needed to make $80,000 in the next 6 months. And I set out a plan and I got in motion, and it's crazy to sit, I keep saying it's crazy because a year ago, I did not believe this to be true. I did not know this was possible. I did not believe that it was possible for me to be living and experiencing the life that I have. But when I quit my job in July, I moved into the amazing apartment that I have now with my floor to ceiling windows, downtown Detroit, polished cement floors. I started getting on a hunt to getting the dog that I've been dying to have for the last 3 years, but I didn't have. I kept saying I don't have the time to have a dog. And then I set out this goal, I really want to hit 6 figures this year. And it's amazing to see when I was finishing up my numbers for the year. So I write all my numbers down on my calendar pretty much every day. I don't know if you guys can see this or not. And then I started actually putting it up on my board. It's mind-blowing to think that from July to December, the business brought in $110,000 in 6 months. In 6 months. It would have taken me probably another 4 years working in corporate America to make that salary-wise. I did it in 6 months. 6 months. If you would have asked me a year ago, I would not have thought you would have told me, OJ, you're going to make 6 figures in your business in the next year. I would have looked at you like you were crazy. I knew it could, I thought that maybe possibly, if the stars aligned, that it could happen. But for me to actually experiencing it, no fucking way. No. And to do it in 6 months, that's mind blowing to me. To God be the glory all day, every day. Nothing but GPS, God Protective Services on this mission. But it's when I wrote that down, and the goal was to make 80, I made 110. That's a $30,000 financial more than I even anticipated on making. It's just I sat down last night before people came over for New Year's. I really started thinking why? How did this happen? And because somebody had asked me the question, what do you primarily contribute your success to, for you to be experiencing it in the time span that you experienced it, because it happened so fast. Like, guys, a year ago, I was working my 9-to-5 job, not knowing, like, I had put these goals on paper, but no idea how it was going to happen. 6 months in, I quit my job. 6 months later, I made more, like, I've been able, basically based off of what I made in corporate for the first 6 months, plus what I've been doing now, I've literally tripled my corporate salary in a year. Like, when you really think about, like, how long that would have taken me to do in corporate America, like the money that I'll be consistently making going forward is like similar to what like executive directors make. Like, that would have been another at least like 8 years on my record before I ever would have experienced that in my corporate job, even being an engineer. So it's like that to me, like, wasn't, I don't even have words for it. It's just, I didn't even know that to be true. But somebody asked, what do you most attribute your success to? Like, what do you most attribute your breakthrough 2017 being to? And the only thing, well, the first and foremost was me being able to develop a relationship with God and really being intentional on building community. But it's God and community first and foremost. Because it's like, one, knowing, having faith and believing and like realizing that, yes, I am human. I am like of sin. I am flawed. I will make mistakes. I am not qualified as a human being. But in that same breath, I am fully qualified because I am a child of God. I am fully qualified because I am a believer in him. I am fully qualified because he will not, any vision that he has put on my mind to create is possible to achieve if I just believe it to be, like, if I believe it to be possible. And then it's just like, I've been praying to have this healthy community around me. I mean, growing up with the family situation I had, it's like, I've always craved to have connection. I've always craved to have these authentic relationships. I've always craved to have people in my corner that just love me just because I'm me, that I can be myself with, that I can, like Jordan, we wake up in the morning, stinky breath and all, and we just exist and we talk about numbers and we strategize together. Like, I've prayed for that for years. I've prayed to have like the community that I have at my church, and like, shout out to Tim and Pastor Patrick and the fellowship group that we have, and like the amazing people I'm meeting there, and like to all the amazing people I've met through business. Not only my clients, but my coaches and the masterminds I'm in, and the people that are also in those spaces with me. Like, one, God, two is community. Like, this would not have been possible if I would have continued going down this road by myself. It would not have been. And I would not have experienced the radical growth at the pace at which I experienced it if it were not for the people that were in my life. Like, period. And I think for so many years, I have been showing up in the world pretending like I had it all together, pretending that I was happy and fulfilled and okay, when I knew that like there was so much of me that felt unworthy and not qualified and undervalued and just lacking love, period, all around. And it was like the moment I decided to admit to God first and foremost that, like, God, I don't have it all together. I don't feel worthy. I don't feel qualified. I don't even feel worthy of receiving the blessings that you continue to give me. I don't know how to receive them. Help me through that. And just having a conversation with him, not even necessarily asking for answers, but just letting him know, like, I'm struggling and I cannot do this alone. And I need not only you, but I need you to speak to me in a way that I can understand and introduce people into my world to help me through this. Just admitting it. Just having a conversation with him. I think sometimes he just wants to know that he wants to know that we know that he is almighty. Like, he wants to know that, like, I think sometimes, at least the way I used to look at praying is that I had to be like this perfect prayer person, that I had to like say the most profound, like deep, magical things when I prayed with him. And I'm so thankful for Pastor Tim in Woodside, Detroit, for the church that I go to, because I learned that God just wants a relationship with you. And it's not only having a relationship when things are bad or only when things are good, but he wants to have a relationship with you always. So like, just talk to him like you would like just have a relationship. So like, you know, when you're struggling or whatever, you might call your girlfriend and like vent to God. Like if you don't know what's going on, like let him know you need help. Like I just started talking to him and just started like whatever that type of relationship looked like for me, I just started doing with him. And it's amazing when I just humbled myself and stopped pretending to be who I thought I was supposed to be and just started being who exactly I was in that moment, how amazing everything just started to just transcend. Because I think in those moments when we can just be humble and say like, God, I need help. I don't have it figured out. I'm struggling. I don't feel worthy of love. I don't even feel worthy of receiving the blessings you continue to give me. I don't feel worthy of actually like moving forward with the vision you gave me because I don't feel like I'm enough. I need your help. Like speak to me in a way that I can understand, you know, and then when you start doing that, it's amazing how God will just start dropping the resources you need one after one after one. And for me, it was through community was the biggest thing, my people. God brought Jordan into my life, which then introduced so much else into my world. And, you know, God brought like better community and higher quality experiences and like deeper connections with other people, which is the thing that allowed me to like keep moving. It was the community that I had. Exactly, like total surrendering. It's so hard to do, yet so necessary. And I think it's like what I think I was at church is when I can't remember who I heard this quote from. It was either Pastor Tim or it was listening to some sermon on YouTube, but saying that God cannot bless the person you pretend to be, and that's when it hit. Because if I keep pretending to be something that I'm not, if I keep pretending like I have it all together, if I keep pretending and putting on this facade for Facebook or Instagram or for everybody else, God will never be able to bless me because he's blessing somebody. Like he can't bless who I'm not, who I'm pretending to be. So I say all this to say, she said I need a Jordan Gill in my life. Jordan always says we're like the Oprah and Gail combo. And I just love that she says that because I think it's so true. Everybody needs a Jordan Gill in their life. Like, and if it's having the Jordan Gills, it's having the, like I said, the Laura Wrights and the Courtney Sanders who have been coaches. It's having the, I like freaking love Jordan. She's my gal. I guess I'm Oprah according to her metaphor here. Let's do it, girlfriend. But like having the right people, and I have layers of community and support. Like, I have my board of directors, which are all of like my mentors. They're kind of like my creative parents. It's my John Broshaks, my Fridas, my Lindas, my, like there's like 6 or 7 of them. All of them are like crazy successful. Like they're all like 45 plus. And they're kind of like the parents I never had. And I just get so emotional about it because I do not feel worthy of the blessings that God has given me. We go through so much struggle. I think all of us, we experience these struggles through life. And like growing up without my parents, it's like I always craved this adult parenting love, and I have it in so many layers now. And I'm just so thankful. Of being able to like say I didn't have those things growing up, and I'm not gonna pretend to say that I'm okay with not having those things, but it's amazing how God will bring the exact people you need into your world to be more than you ever could have imagined. So I have like my board of directors who are like my creative parents, and they're phenomenal. And then you take a step down, I have like my business coaches and my mentors. And these change, like the mentors and the coaches change, because at different stages in my business journey, you need different types of support. So I had a Courtney Sanders, I had a Laura Wright, I have James Wedmore now, and now I'm in Quantum Quarters, which I'm super, super pumped about for these individuals. But these are people who are, like 2 to 3 steps ahead of me in business. And they're providing more like strategic, business support through community as well as through like individualized coaching. And then from there is like you have like you have like the peer led, like you have the peer led support, which is similar to people like who are either like on your level or maybe a step above or a step below, but you guys are really like in the hustle together. You guys are in the stride and in the motion together. And that's like where I would call my Quantum Quarter, and the communities that are associated with the coaching programs that I've been in, and my business besties and that type of thing. And then it's like there's layers. And I really, as we're moving forward into 2018, like encourage you to evaluate what are your layers, you know, what are your tiers and where are the gaps? So like, do you have the people at the high level who are offering you like the mentorship and the guidance? Do you have the people who are offering you more of like the individualized hands-on coaching and support? And do you have like the peer-led, like people who are in the midst of everything with you? And where are your gaps? And identify where your gaps are. And like, I would just say, if you do not do anything else this year, if you do not lose any weight, if you do not get in the gym, if you do not start eating healthier, like if you don't do any other New Year's resolution, except for the fact of get the people that you need to have in your life, like that's the only, I will say, you having the right people in your world will make everything else happen. Like having, like Jordan, if it weren't for, I eat better because of Jordan. Like just being honest. And it's crazy because a lot of the people that I've been meeting, they're all very health conscious about what they put in their body, what they eat, the products that they use. Having better people in my life is in turn like helping me be better in my life. So the people are having a trickle effect on everything else. So I just encourage you to do that. And I know that a lot of you guys have been, over 100 people have showed interest into the Accelerator Coaching Program, which is a new coaching program that I'm rolling out in 2018. Yes, Team Brussels Sprouts in 2018, because it's really focused on kind of those two layers there, the coaching and support, and then being able to put you in a peer-led group where there's a community of that coaching program that you'll now have people with you going through the motions, like going through the strides of the ups and downs, the ebbs and flows of your business. And the Accelerator Coaching Program, again, is for people who are working their 9-to-5, who are trying to replace their corporate salary through their business income, where you're trying to create more consistent income with your service-based business online. And it's really all geared towards you like 2 to 3xing your business income over the next 9 months. And I just want to put out like kind of a second call, because I know some people before the new year were on the edge about it. And after last night's meeting, I just like, second chance. Everybody can get a second chance on this to get in. There's still a couple spots left. But I just want to be able to extend the opportunity if you just want to have a phone call with me and chat sometime this week and see if the Accelerator Coaching Program may be a fit for you to fill in some of those voids that you may currently have by not having somebody on your team who is in a coaching role, who's 2 or 3 steps ahead of you to help you develop and implement and accelerate your success in your business, but also 2, to have the community, to have the type of peer, type of led support to go through with people as you're experiencing the mindset hurdles and as you're actually implementing to get that real-time feedback. So if you are still interested in the Accelerator Coaching Program, this is your second chance. Just click the link in the title of this description or click the link that is posted in the comments below. You can schedule a call with me this week so we can talk about whether or not this program is a good fit for you. And if it is, great, and we'll move forward. If not, no worries, no stress. I can offer recommendations of other support and other resources that might be a good fit for you. But if you are in a service-based business capacity and you're interested in earning consistent income in your business, potentially to the point of you replacing your salary so you can have the choice, have the freedom to make the choice on how you want to live your life and how you want to show up in your world, whether that's reevaluating your corporate career, getting yourself a new position in corporate, or actually leaving corporate America completely and running your business full time. I highly invite you, just hop on a call with me and let's chat. But just remember, God cannot bless the person you pretend to be. So this is a moment just of you surrendering to yourself and humbling yourself and just recognizing who have you been pretending to be? Who are you really? And like, who do you need to become in order for you to experience a breakthrough 2018 that you so desperately desire? That's all I got for you guys. If you guys have questions, comments, hop in the comments below and I'll be making sure to be reading through those. If you want to send me a message in chat, you can also do that. Jordan said, say the quote about fear and Satan. What quote? Motivation and inspiration. Jerisha, your video today is really inspiring me. I'd love to set up a meeting with you. I'm also from Detroit. I'm a blogger and online web show host. Hey, Tyler, shoot me an email at support@jerishahawk.com and let's chat and see if we can set that up. Ashlyn said, you're speaking on what I've been reflecting on the past few days. To get ahead, we must be vulnerable, open, bold, and invest in ourselves. It's so true. Anita said, I just don't see how I'm going to reach the goals that I set, but I'm going to do it. Anita, I didn't see it either. But that's why, like, you have to have other people in your world who sometimes can see beyond what you currently know as reality. Because all it takes is, like, one thing John, he's one of my, like, most impactful mentors ever. When I was getting to the point of quitting my job, I was talking to him about it, and I thought he was going to tell me to stay. He was like, you need to leave. Like, you need to quit. I don't know why you're still here. I'm trying to sit in the window seat of your private jet. You're not going to be able to do that if you stay as an engineer here, so I need you to quit. And I was like, when he said that out of his mouth, I'm like, I can have a private jet? He's like, yeah, it's not a matter of if you can, it's a matter of when. I prefer you to do it sooner rather than later because I would like to go visit your private island too. But it's just like having people who speak abundance on you, who speak like, it's not about necessarily you being able to see how you're going to get there, but making sure that you have the faith in God and that you have the right community and you have people who can see, who can pull out and see beyond what you currently know as reality and help you connect the dots on like how to get to your vision. It's not all about you being able to see it yourself. And if you're waiting for the day for you to be able to see it all yourself and then for you to go and act and do it, you would have waited too long. You're waiting too long. You need to have the people in your world who can see beyond what you know. Who can help you like see things as you want them to be and not as they currently are. Like, it's not about you being able to see it always all the time. You have the vision, but have the people who can help like actualize that vision and connect the dots with you and support you through that. We can get in our own way without a clear vision and validation. So true. That's where I am now. I just don't see how I'm going to reach. Okay, yeah, I got all that. Yeah, girl, wow is right, but it's true. It's true. So I would just, again, invite you guys to schedule a call with me. There is an intake questionnaire just so I can evaluate what your current situation is. Fill that out, hit submit. Let's hop on a call this week. If you know that this program is for you, but there's hesitation, worry, or maybe you just need validation or need to talk through to see if this is a good fit for you. Like, again, I would love to chat. Just click the link in the title or click the link in the comments below and schedule a call with this week. Schedule a call with me this week about the Accelerator Coaching Program. We are going to be getting started on January 10th. So there is a bit of a time constraint here because we are going to get started and be working together over the next 9 months. So I look forward to chatting with you. If you have any other comments or whatever, like pop it in the comments below or shoot me a DM. But more than anything, I look forward to chatting with you on a phone call. So just schedule a call there. You guys enjoy your new year. Happy New Year. Today is your day. You are enough in this moment. Like, act on whatever that is. Like, no more waiting until tomorrow or waiting until you have it figured out or waiting until you can see the entire thing. Like, you will not get to where you're going if you don't just start moving. So just start moving, okay? Thank you guys so much for chatting with me today. I'll chat with y'all soon. Bye, y'all.